Welcome to the Bentley Systems training course where you will learn how to design steel connections using RAM Connection Standalone. RAM Connection Standalone is used for the design and detailing of steel connections, and it can design individual shear, moment, brace, splice, and truss connection types to a variety of different steel design codes. In this particular video, we're going to be focusing on the process for assigning a stiffened seated connection to a beam to column joint in RAM Connection Standalone for the purposes of resisting a shear reaction. We will now turn our attention to our RAM Connection Standalone application, and I'm going to assign an unstiffened seated connection to joint number 3. This is a beam column web joint, but for the column shape, I'm using an HSS square section. Now I'm able to find both stiffened seated and unstiffened seated connections through either a basic or smart connection workflow. I'm going to go with a basic connection workflow. So I'm going to go to the assign icon, find my basic connections, and for a stiffened seated, you're looking for something with an S in front of it. So S stiffened seated, this would be with an L connection, and this one would be an assembly of plates. And we can also go with an unstiffened seated connection, either a bolted or welded option. I'm going to go with a stiffened seated plate assembly. I'm going to go with the welded option for the column. Now here you can see that a shear connection was assigned, so let's go ahead and click close. And the first thing I'm going to do is take a look at the joint selection area where I'll be able to see the status of my connection design. My interaction ratio for this joint is less than 1.0, and it is in green, which means I have achieved a passing connection design with no errors or warnings. If I'd like some additional information, I can click on the edit icon and then edit the shear connection. This will take me to the RAM connection pad where I can review all of the connection pieces that were assigned and make modifications if I choose. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the modifications that we can make. Here we can see that the stiffening element is a plate, and we could see the geometry and the material properties that were assigned to it. We can also see the welding and the electrodes that were selected. I can also take a look at the top angle pieces of information, and again, I have several parameters here for which I can customize. If I would like to review the connection report, I can click on the results icon, and I'll be able to review all of the geometric considerations and design checks that were performed along with their status. If I'd like some additional information, I can click on the View Formulas icon to see the formulas and variables that were used to arrive at these results. Let's go ahead and close out of the report. And then lastly, before I go anywhere else, I'm going to also take a look at the DXF view. Here I'll be able to see how this connection will be detailed. I can export this DXF and customize it as well. Now at this point, I didn't make any connections to this connection template. If I had, I can click on the Save icon before I leave here. Let me go ahead and close out of the connection report. And at this point, this concludes my process for assigning a seated connection to a beam to column joint within RAM Connection Standalone.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you want to see more such series, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you, and see you next time.